Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Listen to me. Question for you. Can you handle the truth? You know, I was just sitting there, I was thinking to myself, riding to pick up some lunch my wife can order. And so I ain't got too long. But I was sitting here and I was thinking, I say, man, you know, it's a lot of women that say, tell me the truth, and really cannot handle the truth. And I thought about the same thing. I said, it's a lot of men that say, tell me the truth, and really cannot handle the truth. You know, we can't handle the truth. We can't handle the truth. Because the truth really, it slap all us in the face in some way or another. But what I have realized, young lady said something on a rap. She was rapping. And my wife found this young lady on whatever, TikTok, I think. Young white lady. She a rapper. And one of her lines, she say, somebody, what a man with under 6 inches gonna tell me, or something like that. And I was like, that's interesting she said that now. Why she talking about the man dang-a-lang? And then I heard another lady say, now this lady, she done slept around a lot, but she was doing an interview. She said, you know, and these guys with 6 inches feel like they're big and bad. That is little. That is little. Have you seen a porno? Them things get really big. And in my head, I'm thinking like, well, yeah, if you extra normally large, probably you gonna get into that industry. And so I Googled it. I'm like, what are these women talking about? And the thing say the average size of a man is, I think it said 5.2 to 6.3. It was something with a point in there. And I was like, and they say in some countries the average size is 3 inches. So if women, if it's some women talking about, oh, that's love, imagine how that'll hurt a man's feelings if he fall under that category. And now flip it on the other side, if men say, oh, I'm not attracted, if men say 90% of men not attracted to a woman that weigh more than 150, it's like, huh? That's a lot of women. Way more than even 175. That's a lot of women. And so this is the thing. It's these truths that are so-called truth that people be asking for, and we really ain't ready to handle nobody truth. And also, we have to understand that everybody truth ain't our truth. And so you have to be mindful of what truth you're listening to and how you're changing. Because it's a lot of people, it's a lot of women going to get surgery and risking their lives because of somebody's truth. Somebody said a woman got to be built like this to be attractive. And so the woman go get surgery. And that could be another woman who said it. Could be another man who said it. But the woman go get surgery. And then we'll go get surgery. And then folks still don't want them. Lord bless them. That lady running across the street. She rubbing her head. Well, she homeless. I don't know if the sun go to deteriorate them. Boy, she looking at people car hard. I don't know if the sun go to deteriorating or because they sleeping outside, or if it be some kind of drug. God bless them. I just pray for them, because it could have been any one of us out there. Just pray for them. God bless them. And so think about this now. These so-called truths that people be listening to and wanting to hear could mess your life up. I was talking to my wife, and I was talking to something I was working on the business side, and I was like, baby, when I'm talking, I can't tell if I'm saying a word proper or country. And she said, what does it matter? I say, well, sometimes people think country accent mean you're dumb. And y'all done heard me say this all the time. And she said, who said that? She said, where does this narrative come from? Where does this start with you? That country equal dumb. And I say, well, somebody said it one time in the comments on YouTube. Oh, he sounds so dumb. Can't even formulate them. Can't even say his words right. And then she said, somebody said that one time. I said, yeah, I seen that one time. She said, so out of all the comments you seen in one time, and that's what you choosing to believe? And guess what? That really messed me up though, because I'm conscious. So think about this. A lot of time we asking for the truth, and then what does the truth matter? What does the truth do? My sister went to watch a documentary, and she wrote me, she said, you were talking so proper. And I just talk the way that I feel I need to talk, depending on who I'm talking to and how I need to talk. And so, but I can't hear myself. It just whatever come out naturally. And without thinking about it, I just talk how I talk. If I'm not thinking about it, I'm gonna talk how I talk, and you're gonna be able to understand me. But some of my words will be cut off short. Some of my words will be said wrong. Some of them will be said right. But I'm just talking how I'm talking. So right now, I'm just talking how I'm talking. I'm not trying to sound proper. I'm not trying to sound country. So however I sound, I sound. And that's the space that I want to be in. But we, as humans, we hear one thing that is so-called the truth. And so I ask you, do you really want to hear the truth? Do you want to really hear somebody's truth? Because see, my truth for you might not be the truth for you from the person that's going to marry you. So I could tell you, hey, this is where you need to be at. But then you meet the person that you're going to marry, like, no, I don't feel like that. I don't agree with that. But who got to marry you, me or that person? You see what I'm saying? So really it comes down to is us finding our own truth and us being mindful about the truth that we are believing. What truth are we believing? What truth are we hearing? Because I could choose to believe a truth that is actually a lie. And I notice a lot of times we do that as humans. We'll believe something about ourselves that's a lie, instead of just finding our due north and where we want to be, where we trying to get to in our life. And that's not easy. But you got to really be able to sit with yourself and say, okay, where do I want to be? Where do I want to be? Who do I want to be? How do I want to be? And how do I get there? What is my truth? What do I want to do? So, okay, I want to work out every day, but I also want to be able to eat what I want to eat. I just don't want to be crunching on kale all the time. I want to eat, I don't want to be a vegetarian, or I don't want to be a pescatarian, or I want to be a vegetarian, or I want to be a pescatarian, or I want to work out 3 times a week, not 5 or 6 or 7. Like, what is your truth for you that feels right, that you know is right, and that's comfortable but not complacent? Not comfortable to the place it hurts you. So it's uncomfortable enough to challenge you and to push you, but it's not comfortable to the place that you get complacent. And that's where we got to get to, and that's not easy. It's not easy at all. But in order to get there, we got to be willing to sit and listen to ourselves. We got to be able to hear ourselves out. We got to be able to really process and hear what we need to do. So right now, it's this place that make this pizza. I'm going up to get this here pizza. And I was doing keto, but I'm like, it just ain't realistic for me right now. Like, I need to just make sure I'm working out, and I need to try to sleep right, but not eating carbs. It just ain't realistic for me and my family. Now, for the next person who might not have a spouse or kids, and they don't have to worry about nobody else and how other people eat around them, and being the only one out the bunch not doing a certain thing, and alienating themselves from their family by doing something that the rest of the family ain't doing, and just losing that connection, that bond, and being that person, that'll be easier for them. It's a lot of guys who be working out and stuff, and they might not be considerate of their spouse schedule or time or what have you. They just focus on their goals, and they don't care what it get in the way of. And there's some guys that'll give me workout tips, but they single with no kids. So it's like, okay, your life totally different. You can structure and do what you want to do, but when I'm ripping and running from this game to that game, this practice, that practice, sometimes the only option is fast food. Like, sometimes I can't meal prep because that food finna be stale and old and cold by the time I get to eat it. And it's like, I can't be sitting there chomping on no stale food. I ain't come to this place in my life to be eating like a soldier in the wilderness. Like, and for what? I'm not finna get a trophy. So just for a body, when I could be healthy without a 12-pack and still be healthy. I can have me a good 2-4-pack, might get to me a 6-pack, might just take me a little longer. So I have to see, okay, what is my truth? And that's what I'm challenging you to do. Identify what is your truth. Where do you need to be? What is your due north? What do you need to be working on? What do you need to be doing? And what works for you? Because what works for me might not work for you, and vice versa. And that's what we got to realize and understand. Okay, this is where the place, okay, so this place is pretty, the way my wife described it, I thought I was going a hole in the wall, but this is, okay, pretty established little franchise. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to tell y'all, even though they ain't getting no check for this, there's a place called Mod Pizza, M-O-D, Mod Pizza. And my wife, she's not that big on pizza, but she had this with her sister. Her sister live in New York, and her sister say she love it, and my wife say she got it, and you make it how you want to make it, and it's one price regardless of how many toppings you get. So I just drove 30 minutes to get this here pizza. So I'm trying to tell you, it better taste like Jesus had a hand in it, because if not, I'm gonna be a little perturbed after driving an hour to get this little raggedy pizza. But hey, see, that's love. Now my wife would do it for me too, but I need my little pat on the back. I need my little credit. Drove an hour. It really don't feel like an hour, but it did say 26 minutes to get here and 26 minutes to get back. So that is about an hour minus 8 minutes. And so I'm gonna see what this stuff tasting like. But hey, think about that. What's your truth? What do you need to be working on? What do you need to be doing? What do you need to be doing that might not be comfortable? That might not be comfortable for you, or that might not be somebody else's truth. I'm gonna part right here. It say curbside, but I'm sure gonna go on use it. So hey, this Tony Gaskins. God bless you. We'll talk soon.